So I've been having a lot of fun with the Benavides stands the last few videos, few that are still out there. I wonder how many of these guys that are so high on David are actually going to buy that fight or actually pay to be there. Because it's a constant battle with these guys, and it shouldn't be. If Canelo Alvarez is as afraid of David as all of you claim, which is fine for you to think that, then this shouldn't still be a talking point. It reflects very poorly on David that the most that anybody even wants to talk to him about is Canelo, and I've been highly highlighting that a great deal in the videos I've been doing because the excuse that they like to use is, "Oh, well, David is only talking about Canelo because people keep asking him about him." And it's like, "Well, okay, but why are you still talking about that?" The other day, for the umpteenth time, they tried to ask Shakur Stevenson about Javante. And what did he do? He said, "Look, I ain't talking about this dude no more. We not fighting. I mean, if it's a fight that's gonna happen, then great, but it's on him. We ain't fighting. So next question." And at any point, David could do the exact same thing. At any point. The reason he doesn't is because ain't nobody really that hyped to see you fight Zerto, homie. Nobody really is. Chung, what it do? Nobody's really hyped to see you fight Zerto, bro. And that's saying a lot because I actually think that's a good fight. And I think on the night it's going to be a fun fight to watch. Aesthetically, it has all the ingredients of a fight that is a good fight. But the reality of it is David ain't got it like that. And cuz y'all get in a circle and pray together about it, it's not going to move no pay-per-views. The only time people care about David is if it's about Canelo. The rest of the time, they don't give a shit. The potato face kid, Javi, I spent a lot of time on him too. His excuse, because he knows that pay per view isn't going to sell. He knows that. They all know that. And the excuse they want to use is, oh, well, pay per views don't sell anymore. Listen, buddy, maybe they don't. But I know Canelo Alvarez, on average, he gets out there with a nobody. A guy either people don't know or people don't think is going to win. He gets out there, he does a 500,000, and that's the base. So if this guy really usurped Canelo as the face of boxing, or if he took Cinco de Mayo from him, you better get out there and do 5 like he does, because that's what your fans are saying. My problem is Benavides talked all that about Beaver. Yeah, and they think they slick, Chong. Ellos creen que ellos son inteligentes. That, oh yeah, I wanted to fight Bivol, bro. Everybody, you knew Bivol might be busy. You knew that. We know that the WBC's mandatory wasn't supposed to be next. They jumped the gun so they could give you an email belt that you ain't even do nothing with. Well, give me a second. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that lately. Because the media, and we're going to talk about the media tonight. There was a very interesting tweet I came across as it pertains to Matchroom and what media they're going to allow into their events. That they're going to refine their methods, and they don't want every fan with a little microphone or every fan with a camera getting into their events. They want actual journalists covering the events. But just circling back over to David, and the thing is that the media lets him get away with that goofy shit because the shit is goofy. If this guy is about to fight in what is arguably the biggest fight of his career at a higher weight against a unified champion, if the fight is as big as you guys say it is, and if he is where you guys say he is, why are you still talking about Canelo? When Canelo was getting ready to fight Gennady Golovkin, I didn't hear anybody asking him about, well, what are you going to do after that? What are you going to do after that? With David, that's always the question. Well, what are you going to do after this? Because they don't really care. So, this whole excuse that, oh, yeah, he's just answering the questions that they ask him, why the fuck do they keep asking him the same question? Shouldn't they have something else to ask him? Is Munguia versus Rosetta? Yeah, that's the co-main, Misael. Yo lo dije, Misael, que esa carteleta, it's not even bad. It's not a bad card, but nobody cares. Resendiz versus Munguia is a great co-main event, but nobody gives a shit. Zerto versus Benavidez is actually a decent fight, but nobody gives a shit. All they want to talk about is Canelo, and you're telling me that he's the face when all they want to talk to you about is him? And all you want to talk about is him. Shit is crazy, bro. You know. I think it's because Cinco de Mayo and there's no Canelo, it'll sell at least. Vamos a ver, Martín. Vamos a ver. For me, I was leaning towards that explanation that maybe because there were so many boxing fans that are used to seeing a boxing match on that day, maybe they'll buy the fight. But then it dawned on me, well, a lot of those fans that pay that money that day are Canelo fans. Yeah, a lot of them are Canelo fans. And it's hard to imagine that Liza or Polo or any of these people, what, they're going to kick out money to see David? Yo, I don't know, man. I don't know. Don Juan, what it do? David has to mention Canelo because there's nobody on his resume worth mentioning to the casual fans. Gotta bring up how Canelo ducked him to get them interested. Yeah, and the shit is fucking tired, bro. The shit is tired. Like, yeah, okay, está bien. If he ducked, if he didn't duck, ¿qué importa? The fucking fight ain't gonna happen anyway. So how are we still talking about this? La semana pasada, the headline literally was that there is no overture that David would accept for a Canelo fight. So then how the fuck are we still talking about this a week later, bro? Y yo lo dije. They do not care about that fighter. Para mí, lo que yo veo, he only has a few genuine fans. He only has a few people that really fuck with him. And the rest of those people that you see putting him on a pedestal, oh, those are just Canelo haters, bro. Because it's not that you have fans. If you had fans, your pay-per-views would do a lot better than they do. We haven't heard even a preliminary number yet. Why do you think that is? For the what did the Plant fight do? What did the Andrade fight do? What did the Morel fight do? You guys used to publish ballpark figures all the time, and you completely stopped. We all know why. If that shit goes, if you put that shit out there and it does 3 and 4 and 5, you're gonna be talking about it. You're going to be bragging about it. The reason you don't brag about nothing no more is because you ain't got nothing to brag about. We'll see, Martin. We'll see. I'm open minded, but I have a feeling that shit is not going to do nothing because it's too easy to steal a fucking pay per view, and neither one of those fighters have fans like that. You say in Sinaloa, está bien que ellos lo conocen en Sinaloa, pero pay per views are free in Mexico, ¿no es verdad? They don't pay per view in Mexico, do they? Oh, that's easy, bro. Inoue versus fucking Junto, bro. That's easy. You know? And don't get me wrong, like I said, I think it's a decent looking card, to be completely honest. I'm a boxing fan first. I don't think David's card is even bad. But people are very selective with what they put their money into now. They're very selective about that, you know? Que lo que mi niño
Yo,
was goody.
bro, listen, listen, very well. Listen to me.
I'm listening.
There's keywords you're not supposed to say online, right?
All right.
Well, let's say the fucking let me see. The Russian intelligence, what's her name? The KGB. Y'all are listening. Y'all relay this message to Trump. Trump, tell Dana to cancel that bullshit you got for 4th of July, bro.
Yo, esa maldita vaina,
Yeah.
manín.
And give me, hold on. Give me Dana White versus Eddie, bro. On
Yo,
pay-per-view.
de verdad,
Come on.
that would be the biggest pay-per-view that Dana would have been involved in years, bro.
Oh my
Honestly.
God,
The like
bro.
liter no de verdad, like no cap, bro. Everybody would watch that shit, bro.
Oh my God.
Everybody would watch that shit. Pero él un pendejo y eso es lo que es, de verdad. Tú nada más le hablaste a ese tipo así because you thought that he's just some rich boy y que él no sabe cómo pelear. Y después te dijeron, tú sabes que ese tipo antes boxeaba, ¿verdad? Yeah, he used to box, bro. He's got like a couple of amateur fights. He used. Y tú lo ves también. Yo, Eddie Hearn is like 6'4", bro. He's like big reach. And él no está acabado como otro
No,
tipo. No, that dude
no.
runs all the time, bro. Like he train all the time, bro. So fuck around, Dana. Fuck around. Now you see what he said. Oh, I'm old. I'm old. So is he. What the fuck? So
No,
he got
yo, that shit. He was smooth with it too. He was like, oh, he doesn't know about the ice, man. Huh? 4-0 and 4 by way of sips coffee. I was like, oh shit,
fucking
yo,
Iceman Eddie Hearn, baby.
Iceman, bro. Undercard put Bob versus Fish Eyes. Fuck.
No, fuck it. Put on the undercard, put Frank Warren versus Frank Smith, bro. Let's fucking get down. Let's get down and dirty out here. Ben Shalom versus Frank Smith. Yeah, I could go for that. I could, but yeah, and all jokes aside, because they're not gonna fight. That's where you see the difference in what a real promoter is
Mm-hmm.
and what Dana is. Eddie sees that. He sees dollar signs. Porque, yo, I know people would pay money to see me fight you, irrespective of who wins. They would pay money to see me fight you. So let's go make some money. Dana, Dana is only a promoter by name, not by practice. It's not hard to promote UFC shows when it's already the biggest promotion in that industry. So it doesn't take much promotion to get people to watch what you're doing since it's the biggest promotion already. Credit to him because he had a hand in creating that market. Pero boxeo no es así. Boxing is not something that you created. Boxing is its own engine. It has its own culture, and you still don't understand that. If you were smart, you'd get out there with Eddie and take your beating. If you were smart, now people don't respect you. I talked all that shit. I thought Eddie was a pussy. You scared to fight a rich boy from Essex? That's how it is, Dana. Scared?
Iceman, the Iceman.
I'm saying shit is crazy out here. So Matchroom sent out an email to a lot of the I'm not even going to say it's more of a press release that they're refining their methods. They're being more selective about what media they allow to cover their events. Porque lo que ellos están viendo is that, yo, not for nothing, is a lot of these people are just fans with cameras. And yeah, it's the truth. There's a lot more people entering into the space, and it is unprofessional. Like, I mean, that kind of is. I mean, how many people are you going to have asking the same question? That is obviously that doesn't apply to Coogan Cassius, and obviously that doesn't apply to Rob Tabbitt or Marcos Villegas
Okay,
or
yeah.
obviously not, right? But yeah, you see a lot more people entering into the space, and you're getting a lot of regurgitated content where you just ask this guy with this guy. Just that we know what the line of questioning is going to be, because it's almost like you didn't do any legwork before you went to the event. That, okay, if you do get to ask Eddie a question, what is it going to be? If you do get to talk to this fighter or that fighter or that fighter, what is it that you want to ask them? Because it seems like you're using press credentials as a means to achieve access, free access to an event. And I'm like, yeah, I applaud that. I think it does need to be more selective. I think you do need to meet a certain status quo in order to gain access to these people, because it's kind of sickening what the space has become. Devontae, what it do?
What's up, Jules? How you doing?
Ain't shit, man. You know, just talking about this David Benavidez shit, and how it's like, for the umpteenth time, they talking to him about Canelo. And I'm just saying, the point of the night, sort of the theme, is that, Brody, if every time you got to fight and you got to do media for that fight, all they want to ask you about is Canelo, you know what that mean? They don't give a shit about your fight.
God.
I wonder what you're gonna do if Canelo retired tomorrow. What would you do? You know, it just seems like to me is like you even mentioned that one thing about Zerto. You went the whole light heavyweight campaign that you had for 2 seconds. You didn't see beef all or better beef. So what's the point?
Real shit. That the excuse and the crutch that his fans lean on is, well, he's just answering the questions that they give him. But I'm like, okay, well, why the fuck do they keep asking him the same question then? Because when Canelo's going to fight Golovkin, they were not asking him about, what are you going to do after that? What are you going to do after that? What are you going to do? This is supposed to be the biggest fight of your career. Zerto is the best fighter that he would have fought. Literally, like, yeah, that's the best guy you would have fought. That, if you beat him, that's the best name on your resume. This is the biggest fight of your career. And all they want to ask you about is Canelo.
But he got a chance to check that. Be like, hey, I'm not here to talk about Canelo. My opponent is Zerto. You know what I'm saying? You keep inviting the question, and then when Turkey asked you about Jai and fighting the other guys, you brought up Canelo. You know what I'm saying?
Literally. And you watch the shit. There was a whole video. I talked to him. I don't know if he do it. Drew, he wears a cock ring. And I talked to him. And you know how Turkey talk. And we try to do this. And we will talk to him. And I do this. And what? But what about Canelo though? Because I don't understand. Because it's like, yo, dog, like the shit is a running gag, bro. Like, deja la vaina, maning. It's not gonna happen. What it do, Ross? Appreciate you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, yo, and I think it would be better for boxing, honest to God. Because that's kind of the lens that I look at everything through now. What is going to create a bigger shakeup for the sport to make people talk, so on and so forth? And what's better for me as a content creator? And honestly, it would be better if Zerto won. Honestly, I don't say that out of spite. I would say it would be better if Zerto won, so that the narrative can change. Because right now it's been the same thing for what, 3, 4 years? Well, I don't understand. I don't understand. You're so scared of me if I'm such a nobody. And I didn't. Okay, bro. We heard that shit already. You don't got nothing new to
He's
say?
like Jules. He's like Irv Gotti talking about I fucked Ashanti 20 years ago.
Literally, Drew. Like I said that. I said that shit, Devontae. That, bro. If you got to brag on pussy from 20 years ago, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah,
That's
that
like,
is.
imagine bragging on bitches. Like, if you shooting the shit with the fellas that know where you coming from, okay, because we all went to the same school, so you can say, I fucked her. Certain very, very specific scenarios, but you would not sit here talking about, yo, I got brain from that bitch in the 9th grade. Like, huh? The fuck the matter with you, dog? Fuck is going on? Like, huh? Right? So for you to be and Ashanti, come on, Irv, you know what you look like, bro. What you think Ashanti did that because of how sexy you fucking are? How fucking charming you are, bro? That young girl did what she had to do to get ahead, bro. That you should be ashamed of yourself. You shouldn't even accepted that shit. Nah, Ashanti. I have principles.
Right.
And the
So
better thing for boxing, Jules, is David's only going to fight one fucking time a year, anyways.
Exactly. I mean, where David is now, and I said this, Drew, that there's no, in my opinion, there's not a lot of ways for him to become what they want him to become, because the foundation is really not there. Canelo's foundation was I fought Mayweather, albeit I lost, but I fought Floyd, I fought Lara, I fought Trout, and I fought Cotto. These are very important fights in his ascent because remember he wasn't the face of boxing when he fought Golovkin. No, he wasn't. He doesn't become the face until after the second Golovkin fight. That's when he became the face after that. And this is a guy, you remember, Drew, he did 600,000 with Khan, $1 million with Chavez, $1 million with Golovkin in the first one, another $1 million in the second one. This was a very successful guy at the box office who was still then not accepted as the face of boxing. So then I look over at David, who's already had, 4 pay-per-view appearances. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody fucking cares. I don't know who the next face of boxing is going to be, but I sincerely doubt it's going to be 30-year-old David. I'm just saying.
And he got
Right
the
now-
opponents. He got the
right
opponents
now-
to. Go ahead, Drew.
I was just saying the only one I could see that has the looks, the fucking platform with Bad Bunny backing him is Xander. Xander could really do some shit if he wins.
Yeah, but if he loses that Boots fight, Drew, you got to consider that shit.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
the
saying
thing.
I'm not saying that Boots is going to I literally don't know. 50-50 fight in my opinion because I'm more impressed with how Xander moves, but he doesn't have power. I don't like that.
No.
He doesn't have power and I don't like, you know. So
But
we'll
purely
get
from the X's and O's, like you said, if Xander does win,
No, if
it
he
takes
wins
him to the next level.
Bro, listen, if he fucking wins, bro, oh my god, a fucking rainbow's gonna shoot out of J-Lo's pussy, bro, if he fucking wins, bro.
It won't be he won't
bro.
be Cotto level, but he'll be starting to get towards that Cotto hype level.
No, but he could because he's so young, Drew. You know,
Yeah.
a part of how Cotto made it to where he made it, it's very different from what's going on with Xander. I remember when Cotto's coming through. Cotto didn't have Tito's buzz. He did no, he didn't. He didn't.
We'll never see that again, huh?
How Cotto, we might, but how Cotto got where he got was because he developed a reputation as a warrior that you knew, yo, win or lose, Cotto gonna fight. That's how he came through. With Felix,
I'm gonna
it
get
was
my
different.
money's worth, yeah.
Yeah, with Felix, it was different. It was a little bit more conventional with Felix, and it could be that way for Xander. Like I would liken Xander's trajectory a little bit more to Felix because remember, Felix was 26, I think, when he fought Oscar. Am I wrong? He's about 26 years old.
Yeah, they both 26, I believe.
And look at Xander. Xander's 23 going on 24 into his first super fight. So it's like I would liken that a little bit more. Yeah. Tito's trajectory to Xander's, I would before Cotto.
Now, if Tito, I mean, if Xander could knock motherfuckers out like Tito, it'd be different too. Like I see what you're saying, no power though.
Yeah,
because Tito had that fucking power, yo.
Not now. If Xander, you know, once again, it could be it could be a launch pad if Xander wins and how he wins. Yeah, that could be a launch pad for him, as it could be a launch pad for Boots. That's a genuine 50-50 fight. I'm honestly more impressed with how Xander's been moving, the trajectory of his career than Boots. But you know, this might be the fight that Boots shows us who he is, because I don't know who he is, Drew. I don't know who he is. You beat
he got 75 fucking fights. We should know who he is.
right. I should know your social security number by now. I should understand everything about you by now. You know,
Boots had way more fights at Xander's age, and Xander's taking on this type of fucking challenge at his age. That lets me know everything I need to know. Boots wants tune-ups and shit at 154, and
yeah, you know, he wanted Lima and the bullshit and
Delorme,
you know, right? But there are guys like, you know, you look at Vargas, and we'll see about Vargas because for me the jury is out. I don't know. I legitimately don't know. It's very early in Mason's career, but I see some Crawford-esque things about him that maybe after a while he could become that guy. There's young guys coming through that maybe they will become the face, but David? Nah, homie, that dude is 30, bro. If he was gonna be the face, we would know by now, bro. Yo, Canelo was 27 when he first fought Golovkin.
But Canelo, you don't want to fight me though.
He fought one reigning champion, fought and beat one reigning champion in 13 years.
Anthony Durrell.
Like,
Yo, that's
come on,
fuck.
bro.
Yo, that's fucking crazy, bro. Like you was there through all these different. That was what the foundation was supposed to be. Look, I would be sitting here singing a very different tune about David, and I said all these things then that you need to do these things. I would be singing a very different tune about David if you would have fought Zerto then, and you would have fought George Groves then, or Uskateki, or Caleb Plant when he had a belt. You fought him when he didn't have a belt after he got knocked out. That shit ain't about nothing. Okay? If you would have fought Billy Joe, if you would have fought Callum, the reality is you let a little dude take all your work from you. So I don't pity you, bro. Same way I don't pity Andre, I don't pity you, bro. There's too many fights out here for your career defining moment to be centered around one fighter. That's why Andre is where he is, and that's why you are where you are. You could go in there and beat Zerto. You won't be the face of boxing after that. I promise. You won't. And you're in a division that, most Americans really don't watch. They don't really watch cruiserweights. Now, they may know you, but they don't know those guys. What, you go in there with Noel Mikhalian right now, unification match, right? Do they know that guy? No, they know Noel. Oh no, they know Chris Billum Smith. They know fucking Ryan Rozicki. These are the big fights you're gonna get. Like I'm telling you, like it's not gonna happen, fellas. He could have fights, and he could, if he's, you could have a legacy, even if you don't make it to superstardom. You can have a legacy, but being the face of, that's not gonna happen. Like no, that's. It's not
Jules, like Chris, Mr. Pull-Up on Twitter already said, they're flexing fucking tickets. They're bringing already people down from the 200s to the hundreds. The third level's curtained off because that shit's going double wood.
I'm telling you, they're gonna be selling $40 tickets soon, Drew. $40 tickets, bro. Like, yeah, they're gonna paper the house and they're gonna pander the audience. It's like, yeah, most of these people either you gave them comp tickets or the tickets was dirt cheap, bro. And let's be real, the real money is in the pay-per-views, and y'all know this shit not gonna sell no pay-per-views. I already know how.
But he's a Vegas fighter, though. He's a Vegas fighter.
Vegas fighter.
Crazy thing about it, Inui's fight is dominating the headlines, and they fight the same weekend. That's the crazy. Yeah. A little Japanese guy is dominating the headlines.
And a fucking super bantamweight, bro, is crazy. Like in
$30
all the
million
years,
gate.
And I know he's special because in all the years that I've been a boxing fan, and we're talking about Chavez Camacho, it goes back that far. I never remember a super bantamweight that people gave a shit about. I mean, seriously, like no. In all the years that I've been a boxing fan, most of the time, American boxing fans, yeah, they couldn't give two shits who was at 118, bro. Like, what? They didn't watch they don't watch some shits at 118, 120. Yeah, they didn't give a salient shit about what was going on there down there. This guy is different. And his Hall of Fame ticket is punched. He could go in there in May, Drew, and get his fucking block knocked off. He's already getting in the hall, bro. That is he's in there already.
His ticket's already punched.
Punched, bro.
They're just gonna call him to do the cast of his face or his fist.
Yeah, of his dick, because it is the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? But
hey,
the shit
is Shadeja Green all right? I heard she got hurt. What's the word on that?
She had a brain bleed, but she says she's okay. She's texting and
she got fucked up, yo.
Drew, that was one of the funniest nights, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm happy she good, but that was one of the craziest nights.
Motherfuckers was on fire that night, bro. Like I don't know what's in the water that night, but motherfuckers was just on the road that night. She got fucked up, man. She got fucked up real bad, and she got fucked up for the same reason Franchon fucked her up. And we talked about this during that little white girls fight, Devontae. That Jadeja has a bad habit of not jabbing enough. And you're waiting for the moment to let the counter go. And the problem is when they're coming in too hot and heavy, you get nervous and you don't want to throw it. It's like, yo, just jab. Yeah, jab.
Like that Puerto Rican girl did the fight after, you were saying, like she was using her jab beautifully.
Like just jab. Like you don't gotta shoot it like it's a piston. You can probe with it, you can gesture with it, but use it. Because if you just sit there waiting for the opponent to come forward, they're gonna throw you off. That's why Teofimo be having all them problems. You let them set the tempo of what you're gonna do, because you're not jabbing enough, or you're not being creative with the jab. You don't have to just shoot it. You could probe with it, you could put it a little bit out there, touch a titty. Right? You could do a lot of shit with the fucking jab, bro. So
I don't think she
Yo,
had an engine to do it though, too, to keep shooting that jab all fight to keep a
Yeah.
fighter off of you.
I don't think she does either. That's why Tim Bradley said that her cardio is what let her down, her condition. That she was dead tired in the fight, and yeah, she got a brain bleed. But before it becomes about that brain bleed, yeah, you gassing out. We just a few rounds into this thing, and you gassing out. This girl came down from really heavyweight because she was coming off the Shields fight. She's coming from all the way down there. Her fitness better than yours. So something definitely
Yeah.
wrong. I don't think she fights again after this either.
No. She's older
Not a-
too, right?
She had a brain bleed, bro. You see?
Yeah.
I didn't know that till like 2 hours ago. Like, oh, she had a brain bleed. Yeah, that career is over. That career,
Yeah.
and I don't say that lightly. I'm not saying it for comedic effect, but a fighter who had a brain bleed is going to get out there and take more punches to the head. No,
Nope.
they're not. No, they're
Did
not.
did y'all catch that interview with Najee, Two Tone, and Clarissa? And I love Tone. He cracked me up sometimes. He's like,
Bro, Tone is
Clarissa.
insane.
He's like, Clarissa, your skills went down since you got with that rapper. No, your fights are boring. He like,
I mean, look. I'm gonna be fair to Clarissa. I'm gonna be fair. Her fights are boring because the opposition is not compelling. That's the truth. If I'm fair to her, if I'm going to be fair, the reason that your fights are not interesting anymore, like when she fought Hammer, I saw genuine interest from people when she fought Hammer. Because, there's a backstory there, a little bit of a backstory. When she fought Savannah, that was the big one. That was the one where, like, yeah, this is a super fight. This is what a super fight feels like. This is a great opponent. But other than that, who are you fighting that anybody even thought stood a chance? And you could argue, well, it's not her fault, bro. I'm not saying it is her fault. I'm just saying those divisions are what they are. And you don't have any compelling opponents. You don't. Worse now that Lonnie Daniels beat Jadeja because, well, now that's one less fight for you. The Jadeja was one of the few fighters that people were asking you to fight. Now you don't have that because somebody else beat her. What are you gonna do now? Chase around little ass women? What are you gonna do now?
I think you
talk
said
about
it a couple
Alicia
weeks ago. What it
Baumgartner
is
in your
she-
interviews.
Yeah, I think Jules, what you said a couple weeks ago is true though. Like, all Clarissa wants to do is work out. She don't want to train. That's why she has no fucking muscle definition. She's comfortable with just exercising to get in shape to fight girls that don't fight.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna say that I think she's scared of anybody because that's one thing I don't think. I don't think she's scared of anyone in particular. I don't think she's scared, but I do think she's grown complacent. She just that's fat and water that she's carrying, not muscle. You can see it. There's no definition on her arms. There's no her thighs. Like, yeah, you can't see her quads. It's just fat and water. So could she lose it? Yes, she could lose it. I just don't think she wants to. She doesn't want to do it. And it's like, well, listen, there's no. And the other thing, let's be honest, even if you could get down to 154 comfortably, who would you even fight there? Who would you fight there? She's really she's in a fucked up spot. And her personality just doesn't help it. It doesn't help it. But better still, you are in the driest divisions in women's boxing between 154 and 175. Yeah, I mean, what's going on? You already fought Franchon. You already fought Savannah. You already fought Lonnie Daniels. What are you gonna do? And I don't want you bothering Tebow. You leave Tam alone. Like, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
That woman is gorgeous. That woman is.
It's not even fucking fair, bro. Like I don't understand. Like, the fuck is going on? I feel like David Benavidez. I don't understand. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand what the fuck is going on. But yeah, there's without a frick to your frack. Like, what made Mayer versus Baumgartner so good? What's making Baumgartner versus Dubois so good? Boxing is symbiotic. You have to have a rival. you don't really have one. And the divisions where you campaign, well, they just don't produce talent in high abundance. So you're stuck. Now, all you could do is interviews about a fucking broad that's fighting at 130. Do you know how fucking retarded that shit is? Like, why are you talking about a girl that fight at 130? I don't even and why you mad at her? You said, literally, you said, I'll come to 47 and fight bitches. That's how the shit kicked off. She said, bet, I'll meet you there. Why do you get mad at Alicia when she does it, but you didn't get mad at Michaela and she did the same fucking thing? All right, Clarissa, I'll fight you. It don't make sense. I think I'm gonna keep it real, Drew, because I can't keep it no other way. I think you just mad she's a pretty light skinned bitch.
It is. It is.
I don't believe that Clarissa is gonna compare her aesthetic to that of a white woman's, which is why you not mad at Michaela for that shit. Michaela did the same fucking thing, but you didn't get mad at her over that shit. You get mad at Alicia. Why? He's supposed to be competing with me. I really think it's some shit like that, because I'm like, how the fuck you not mad at Michaela? She did the same fucking thing, and y'all still buddy. Y'all still bosom buddies. You know,
Was she on a live complaining about light skinned girls and stuff like that? It was like recently.
Yeah, she was. She's like, all these light skinned bitches hating. I'm like, nah, I don't think light skinned bitches is hating on you, man. I really don't. I don't think light skinned bitches give a fuck about you like that, to be real. I think that you have a complex that exists in your own mind. That is what I think. Okay. You see this peanut butter skin joint and you got a problem with her. That's what you have the problem with her. I think Alicia was just on some business shit, to keep it real. Like, yeah, you saying you'll come down, fight bitches. I bet I'll meet you up there. And whatever's whatever. It probably would have never been a fight. But you took it so far up the ass. It's like, why you getting mad at that? Somebody answered the call. Maybe what it was is, combination of what we said, but also you wasn't expecting nobody to say nothing. Because she used to say that shit all the time. Yeah, and I think that was her way of like trying to bully Amanda or bully Katie. Like, well, I'm gonna scare them. I'm gonna come to y'all division. You just wasn't expecting nobody to say nothing. She says something, now you took it up their ass. I don't know what she going.
She need to retire. She need to retire. She had a rival in Savannah Marshall. You could have had 2 or 3 fights out of that. You beat her in the UK. Fair enough. Okay, you could have ran it back. She wanted to run it back. The money would have been there.
Yep.
The money would have been there. So you had the rival and everything. You killed your own career. Retirement suits her.
I would say she take an active rest from boxing. I would say, listen, you go 1.5 years, 2 years to work on other projects. You stay in the gym. Don't forget how to box. Not that you would, because, for you, it's embedded. You've been doing it since you were a kid, so that knowledge isn't going to just evaporate. But you take 1.5 years to 2 years off, like Floyd did. Just let the divisions repopulate a little bit, because right now it's a bottleneck and you just don't have anything to do. Look, you're not going to get down to 147. You're not. You're not. And you don't want to. But there's just nobody left to fight. There's nobody left. The fuck you going to do? Now, you got all these other ideas and all these other endeavors that you want to get into. Yo, so take 1 year. If you really just got $1 million or $2 million or whatever the case, just do the podcast thing, do the reality TV thing, come back in 2 years. And hopefully with the buzz you built, you'll have a bigger audience, because right now it's just nothing for you to do in boxing besides interviews. And to talk about Alicia, not even something you doing, but to talk about Alicia,
I mean, how long do you think it would be if Lauren Price was to move to 160 or Michaela Mayer? How long do you think that would be?
The shit is that Price just fucked up that fight looking that way with that Puerto Rican. That Puerto Rican opened her whole fucking mouth up. She looked like she was eating a pomegranate. That Puerto Rican fucked her up. Even though she won, but she got fucked. Like, who really? Like, nobody's wondering what would happen if Lauren fought Clarissa. They know what would happen. So yeah, you could do it if you want to too. I don't think that fight was ever going to materialize, for the simple fact you don't really have money and she don't really have money. She's on BBC with Boxer. They don't got no money over there. You don't have no money. They lying about that 2 mil. Everybody know. Come on, B. You ain't getting 2 mil. Get the fuck out of here. You know,
No.
get the fuck out of here. Maybe a mil, maybe, and I don't even know about that. But there's and that accents the problem. There's nothing for you to do. It's sort of like yo, you got to leave the party early sometimes. Maybe you circle back, but like, yeah, you got to leave the party. There's nothing going on. Nothing is going on. There's nobody to fight. No super fight. If all you got to do is shade a fucking super featherweight, yeah, it's time to go chill. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So go be absent for a little bit, come back, and hopefully it'll be somebody around for you to fight. You know? I do got a fantasy that Tam Tebow knocks her out, but that's just a fucking fantasy.
I mean, but you gotta let the fighters grow. I think she needs to retire personally. Like you said, there's no fights, and if she's not disciplined enough to keep the weight off of her, like you said, it seemed like she became complacent. If she was disciplined, she could have ruled the 154, 160 divisions had she stayed disciplined to her body. But she likes to eat, and she's lazy. You know.
That and even junior middleweight, like there's some there's a good girl there. Her name is O'Shea Jones. She's IBF champion. She's a good fighter. Is she as good as Clarissa? Look, I don't really think she's as good as Clarissa. I'll give Clarissa her grace on that. I think she's levels above the girl. But that's a fight that could be built into something. You let that girl do her thing at 54. Maybe she unifies some titles. Maybe she goes undisputed. Maybe you build that fight. But these are just not compelling adversaries. Why do we remember Hagler? Why do we remember Leonard? Because of who they fought. Why do we remember Felix Trinidad? Why do we remember Crawford? Because of who he fought. And without that frick to your frack, it's a lost fucking cause, man. It's a lost cause.
She can even do the Cecilia Breakers thing, like how Cecilia Breakers, even though she stayed at 147 majority of her career, but she stayed there and ruled. Beating everybody, stayed undisputed, and then that's how people grew to love her because they've seen her so often and fighting and everything.
I would say that Cecilia had sort of an ace in the hole that Clarissa doesn't have. Her ace in the hole was how many champion level boxers does Norway really produce?
True.
See,
Yeah.
Americans are spoiled. We still produce a lot of champions on average. So it takes a lot to get our attention. I would say, with respect to Cecilia, it already stood out that you have a dominant woman boxer where you guys don't produce that many boxers as it is. You have one of the most dominant women that ever fought. And it's like, oh yeah, they lifted the ban because of her. So she had that ace in the hole that you come from a region that's very much insulated and they just don't produce a lot of champions like that. So you're going to get a lot of attention from that. Whereas in America, it really is hard to stand out because we do produce a lot of champions. We have historically, and we still kind of do now. And you got like a niche audience that fucks with you. But it's you just don't have anybody to bounce anything off of anymore. Like you don't. You're going at a super featherweight. Doesn't that say it all? You sitting here talking about a 130-pound fighter. Do you see Canelo sitting around talking about, that Abdullah Mason, he better watch his fucking mouth. Could you imagine that shit?
That's crazy.
fucking Caleb Plant getting mad. Yo, Williams Zepeda, you better watch the fuck out is what you need to do. Don't compare yourself to me. Cause that's how silly this shit is, bro.
Yeah. And like I say, I think she needs to retire. Katie's retiring this year. They started the same year. I mean, she needs to hang it up. She's a 3-time undisputed. There's nothing else for you to do. Maybe if somebody, like you say, somebody come along and start comparing her, then she can maybe come back and have that fight. But other than that, there's nothing for her to do.
I would say a planned hiatus would be the best course of action. A planned hiatus. I think she's too young to walk away completely because I think she's only 30, 31 years old. And remember that the women are different from the men. Where men start to decline from the lack of testosterone, right? They start slipping. They're not as sharp. Their reflexes, right? But women are actually not as reliant on that. So you can have a broad 38. I've seen broads 41 years old fighting in fucking title fights and winning. So a planned hiatus. Maybe you let Papoose bust a nut in there. Maybe your kid comes out of there. You know what I mean? And yo, you know what I mean? Because yeah, you gotta walk away. Like, yeah, right now you do. Not permanently, because she is still young. She can come back. And look, I'm 100% sure. If Clarissa got pregnant tomorrow and went away for 2 years, I'm 100% sure she could come back at 33 and rule those divisions again. Because they're thin. It would take a lot of time just to let them populate. Let them people win belts, and then you'll have plenty of people to fight. But you got to go away. You got to go cut an album or get pregnant. Something got to give. You know, something got to give.
Yeah, they don't have the depth of a 118 or 120, 135, 140.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
I look at 122, which is one of my favorite weight classes, and anything really, you know, it gets deeper the lower you go. But 122, just because I know a lot of the fighters that are there, like 122 is a super deep division, 115 super deep division, 112 super deep divisions where yeah, like it's not enough to have a title. You're gonna run and do a lot of shit in them weight classes. But Clarissa, what circle jerk we doing? Franchon fought Jadeja, who fought Lonnie, who you beat. It's like there's nothing to do, dog. There's just nothing to do but interviews. Time to just take a holiday. If you really got 2 mil in your last fight, you got plenty of money to go chill. So you go chill, you know? And that's where it's at. Now, Jarrell Miller, I think Jarrell Miller fighting what? This Saturday? He
yeah,
got
he
that
fighting
fight with
soon. He
he
bald
got the
now.
no, I mean, I think he growing hair. I could have swore I seen some little like a little hairline come. We'll see. But I just seen a training video. I thought I seen a little hairline. So, you know, he might have been telling the truth. Like, yeah, he fucked up hair situation. But he's gonna fight that Cuban. And you know, the thing about Jarrell, I came to appreciate him a little more 2.5, 3 years ago, softening my stance on the pet situation that, you know, look, he fucked up. That can't be denied. You fucked up a multi-million-dollar bag. Let's get it straight. So you still fucked up. But I'm not gonna castigate you for the peds because there's so many ped users out here now. If you can't tell what's going on, bro, you gotta be retarded. Oscar Valdez, Conor Ben, Canelo Alvarez, Dennis McCann. It's like, yo, bro, everybody's on something. So, Jarrell, if you was on some shit, I ain't even mad at you, homie. You still fucked up that bag, but I ain't mad at you, homie. My stance on peds has completely changed. Now, I actually hope the fighters are on peds so the fight will be good.
You
You
actually
know?
have to be to compete. I believe any professional athlete that is a professional athlete, you have to be on something to compete at a certain level. There's no way
Absolutely.
you just training normal and you walking into a football stadium or basketball or boxing, MMA, you just say, yeah, I'm just a regular. No, you definitely on something. And Jarrell
Oh yeah.
Miller, he's a serviceable fighter. He's entertaining, talks trash, he comes to fight. You know, his wig get knocked off like was made it to TMZ like he's that like I like Jarrell Miller.
Yeah, I have to admit that he's become a sort of guilty pleasure and a sort of hero. Like, look, man, whether people understand it or not, you need characters like that. Like, yeah, he's a compelling character. If Jarrell Miller was to fight Dillian, like, there's a lot of good little fights for him. Dillian White, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, possibly, right? And if you don't get those guys, if you told me that Richard Torres is about to fight Jarrell Miller, sign me the fuck up. Yeah, I want to see that
Absolutely,
fight.
absolutely.
Sign
Moses.
me up.
Also one I want to see. I would like to see him against Moses. Get Jarrell a few fights, you know, and then even a Wilder fight. I think him and Wilder would be a great fight for
I,
as
I
long as it
like
lasts.
I like the Wilder fight because of the backstory and because they're in the same age bracket. You know, remember Jarrell is like 37 years old. Moses, I could go for the Moses fight. It's just my mind is made up on that, so I'm not as interested. I would prefer if Fabio beats Daniel, I would prefer Fabio versus Jarrell Miller. You know, just something where the other guy might win and the other guy might lose. Whereas with Moses, I'm fairly confident he'll knock out Jarrell Miller. I'm fairly confident. The fights I want to see Moses in, that Tira Moana guy, that big fucking guy that hit too fucking hard. That fucking guy hit too fucking hard. That's the guy I'm looking at. They're like, look, if this guy keeps looking like this, he might be the frick to his frack. If this guy keeps looking like this, because, so far so good. Mr. Calderon said, Jules, Shields trying to box, so her and Papoose could drop a duo mixtape. They trying to do some Sonny and Cher shit, bro. Straight up, Sonny and Cher. But yeah, he's fighting this weekend. And what's interesting about his fight is I think it's a WBA eliminator. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look again, but I think it's a WBA eliminator, which would put him in line for Gassiev. And that's another good little fight.
That's
That's
another good fight.
It's another good little fight that you could make. It doesn't have to have the hugest profile for it to be a good fight. That's a good little fight that can happen. The heavyweight division is delivering decent fights on a regular basis, which is also good because we got the Wardley Dubois coming up. They're doing the Fury Joshua thing. Eventually, they're gonna do the fucking thing. Dillian White wants to fight Deontay Wilder. I said that's a fight. Everybody knows what I think about Wilder. But he does have a shot at redemption because he did just beat Derek Chisora. I know it's not a big deal. But if you could finish out your career fighting the fighters that you didn't fight, like Dillian White, like Joe Joyce, like Jarrell Miller, that resume might actually start to look a bit better. If you closed out your career that, yes, they were past it, but so were you. So it still counts, that because your resume, there's not a lot on there, bro.
And there's money in those fights. If you put Dillian White and Wilder in London, bro, that's gonna sell out. That's gonna sell out for sure.
O2 Arena, that's gonna sell out. Yeah,
yeah,
you could,
for sure.
And it's like he's now realizing, or Shelley is now realizing, Brody, the money has always been in the UK. It's been there since 2017. Y'all tried to do this America fuck yeah shit. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro, but y'all should have been over there trying to fight Dillian White. Thank God that he's still around. He hasn't retired. He's still willing to fight Wilder. If all those people showed up to pay, if they paid to see you fight Chisora, they would pay to see you fight fucking Dillian White. Country, what it do?
What's up, man? What you guys up to?
Ain't shit, man. We over here talking about this Benavidez bullshit. That's what I started the show off with. That, every interview that he's done to promote the fight with Zerto, you would have thought he was about to fight Canelo because he can't shut the fuck up about that dude, bro. Every interview. God. I saw him on Mason and Cam shit talking about Canelo. DAZN posted an interview talking about Canelo. There was another one, I think, it's like, bro, this shit is just sad at this point. They don't want to talk to you unless it's about Canelo, it seems. Nobody asked you shit about Zerto. Who you about to fight? Nobody. Nobody asked you nothing about Zerto. So what do you think about Canelo? And he eat that shit up, man. He wait for them to ask him about Canelo. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And this fucking shit is sad, bro. Fucking shit is sad.
It ain't like he ain't got opponents to handle his business, though. Like, you got opponents at light heavy, cruiser. Like, he said Canelo name more than his wife do.
I mean, right. I mean, like, there's hope that Bivol will probably go to cruiserweight, right? Because he did mention it. But I kind of feel like you missed that opportunity. Remember, Turkey over a year ago, Turkey offered him Callum Smith. Remember? He offered him Callum Smith. The night that Better Be fought Bivol, he got offered Callum Smith. And he said no, because I'm a Vegas fighter. So you could come back to America and try to fight who? Callum Smith. This fucking retard. And then Callum said, most people don't realize because they don't really keep up with these stories. I do because I make a living from it. Callum said that that he got more money to fight Buatsi than what they had offered him to fight Benavidez. I'm like, yeah, I figured that, bro, because that fight was paid for by Saudi. So it's like you already had the inroads to make Saudi bags on a regular basis. But no, let me come back to America. And who did he fight after that? Who was it? Was it Morrell?
I think it was Morrell. Yeah.
Fucking Morrell, bro. What it do, Dover?
What up? What up, Jules? What's
Ain't
good?
shit, man. You seen the homegirl put the beats on the South Korean man? Bad
Oh yeah, that
motherfucker.
was a good fight. I saw the South Korean putting the beats on Alicia too. She
Come
was
on,
catching,
see that?
she
All
was
right, see,
catching hands.
here comes Fig with the fucking propaganda. Don't
Nah,
you
nigga, nah. That South Korean was getting busy on her ass, bro.
listen? I'm not look. I'll level with you. I will level with you. She did put the pause on Alicia in spots. She absolutely did. I will concede that. But she did much worse to Carolyn Dubois. I saw that
Yeah,
fight. Like she
yeah.
was fucking her up. Like it was bad. Like, and that was the last, I want to say 2.5, 3 rounds of that fight. They're like, yo, it looked like if there was another minute in this round, you was finna go out. That's what I see. So Lisia's the motherfucking one, man. Like, I don't think she's the face of boxing yet. I'm not doing what Two Tone is doing. Like, I can't do that. I
That
can't. And
nigga give
you know,
premium glaze.
let's and I texted her, I congratulated her. I said I don't bullshit when I do chop it up. I said like, yo, I was really worried about your ass, like for real. You impressed me. Like I was worried about your ass. South Korean is a machine, you know. It's all good in the hood, but I can't like, yeah, we gotta wait. Why the fuck would we have to wait for the Dubois fight? I'm a boxing fan, bro. I don't want to wait for shit, bro. Okay.
Right, and they women. Like, bro, y'all don't got the fucking
Y'all don't got the
leeway to be
depth.
waiting around.
Yeah, y'all don't get paid enough to wait around. I said it the other day, Fig, that the guys, they can afford to wait around sometimes because they getting 300,000, 500,000, sometimes a mil while they wait. So yeah, they could afford to do that shit. But the girls, nah, you got to keep the momentum going. Katie about to retire, man. Amanda about to retire. You could fill that void and you could become that person, that face, by taking care of this. Take care of this shit. And then you
That's
build
what's the
it up,
most
build it up.
annoying part. That's the annoying
Yeah.
part because the fight is there. Like you said, the fight is there for her to have to become the face. She has all the tools. She has the charisma, the body, the face, the boxing skills, and you won't take advantage of it. You waiting on Katie and Amanda to hand you the baton. They're not going to do that. You got to go take it like they did.
And the other shit is real. I love Amanda with all my heart, Fig. Okay. I need you to understand that. But fighting a 37-year-old Amanda Serrano, that's not what has the boxing fans' imagination right now. It's not. No. The boxing fans, once they focus on some shit, oh, you think David Benavidez fans is stuck on this fucking Canelo fight? They won't let it go. Knowing the shit ain't gonna happen, they won't let it go. Yeah, that's where the Dubois fight is at. That fight has captured the imagination of two separate sets of fans on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. That is more compelling than fighting 38-year-old Katie or 37-year-old Amanda. I'm
Oh
sorry,
yeah,
but it's the
most
truth.
definitely. They
Yeah,
got the
they're
shit
bigger
talking.
names. Yeah, they're bigger names. Like, yeah, they are bigger names than Carolyn Dubois, certainly. But their ages, they're on their way out. Everybody knows that. That's not gonna be as compelling as, yo, you got the young gunner. You used to be the young gunner. You was the hunter. Now you the hunted. And we about to see if you can handle that. Now I'm gonna say I'm 100% confident. You understand? Not 75, not 80, not 90. I'm 100% confident. If that fight happens anywhere inside of a year and a half to two, Alicia takes her to school. Now, anything after that, I can't see that far. You're going to be in your mid 30s and you're not going to be getting faster in your mid 30s. So you need to handle this shit. But yeah, that's the one, man. Alicia is a promoter's dream, dog. I say that she's a promoter's dream. Everything Devontae said. Got the look, got the skill, the charisma, knows how to work the microphone, knows how to present herself. These are all the things that a promoter aspires for in a fighter. Yeah. And you're a bit polarizing too, because you see, she started talking about herself in the third person. The Baumgartner, the Alicia, like, yeah, hey, yo, chill out. What you mean the Baumgartner? What you mean the elite? But these are the things that yeah, they create characters. And you got a young shit talking fighter, a Brit, so it's great for both markets. And we gotta marinate, like marinate. Come on,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah. You don't need to do that. Get that out the way. And I love the shit talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm a simple
I, ju-
man. You
I
talk a little
do.
shit, I'm all for it, bro.
I do like that Carolyn is talking a lot of shit because it'll make it sweeter when she loses. Like she's talking a lot of shit. She's talking a lot of shit. But she'll lose that fight. She will lose that fight. Shout out to DHP. Benavidez taking a piss sitting down, wiping back the front. Yo, yeah, that dude is nuts, bro. Like every fucking interview, I was telling him, Fig, that every interview in a build-up, and it's not a bad fight. That's me being fair and objective. The Zerto fight is not a bad fight. It's not. It's not a bad card. But every interview, every fucking podcast, all of them, Canelo, and it's like, yo, dog, like
I'm
this
cool
shit
with
is
that. I ain't gonna lie to you, Jules. I'm cool with him talking shit about Canelo because Canelo was talking that shit. And it's like if you ain't gonna get the fight, you might as well show this nigga.
Yeah, but the
You know
shit,
what I mean?
yeah, but the shit is, I looked at it in a different lens. That if you get on all these shows and that's all they want to talk to you about, that's all they want to. They don't want to. They're not going to ask you nothing about Zerto. That's not interesting. Just Canelo again, because you know this shit is it's regurgitated content. Yo, you was just on the Danza Project, told my Canelo. You went to see Cam and Mace, told my Canelo. You sat down with the Zone. Told my Canelo. If Marcos pull up, told my Canelo. Michelle Joy Phelps, here go Canelo. I could like yo, I might have
They do
to
the
get my
same thing
free.
with Boots and Crawford. Like they still bringing
do.
up Crawford and Boots and shit.
They do. But not. I don't think Crawford and Boots as a conversation has become as monotonous as this has. Like it seems it's just more obvious that the main selling point of David Benavidez is talking about Canelo. Like it is. Like, yeah, they're not really interested in you if it's not about that guy. And it's sad. It's sad because that shit ain't gonna happen. If there was an iota, if there was a chance it could happen, then it's like, okay, you're building a fight. You're building a fight. But even you know it's not gonna happen. And you literally say that in every interview. It's not gonna, I don't understand. Because I don't understand. And he's not gonna fight me. And he's so scared. If I'm so okay, bro. I mean, like, okay. I saw you tell us to Akim Barak. Now you telling it to Cam and Mace. And then you gonna say it's like, yo. And at
Gotta
what
let
weight
these
are y'all
niggas know, man.
Yo,
Gotta let these niggas know.
at what weight y'all supposed to fight, bro? You a cruiserweight now, bro.
Nah, it's too
At
late.
what
It's too late for
weight?
all that, bro. I'm spiteful, bro. If you ain't give me the fight, you talking all that shit. You a horrible fighter. All that good greasy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, listen,
And,
man. I'm
and then you
say,
lose to a welterweight, bro. I'm shitting on you for the rest of your
listen, no,
days. You getting shit
that's not
on.
an ordinary welterweight, bro. That's Crawford.
And they were the
That's
same
I
size.
mean, I know. Man, come on. Same size these days.
Crawford.
Get out of here.
Listen, man, motherfucking, you know what went through the same exact shit. The same shit. With
Everybody love him in a way.
Because he's a fucking hit. Like, I'm not even Japanese. I feel Japanese when he fucking fights, bro. Like, fucking, you know him, bro. But he went through the same shit. He tried to get Chocolatito in the ring. Chocolatito said, I'm sorry, little homie. I don't get enough money to fight you. I'm going to go fight Quadras. You know, it said bet, right? Goes to the next division. Beats the shit out of everything. Everything. Does it again. And it's like, that's how you handle that. Now, because the universe favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold. Now, Inoue is a bigger star than Chocolatito was at the time that Chocolatito rejected him. Remember, in those days, Chocolatito was the man of the lower weights. He told Inoue, hey, fuck off, right? Now, you're the man. You're more accomplished than Chocolatito ever was. That's another statistic that doesn't get mentioned. Chocolatito was never no unified nothing, never no undisputed nothing. No, Inoue is 4-weight champion like you were, but he's a 2-time undisputed champion making insane amounts of money for a fucking super bantamweight. I've been watching boxing too long. I can't think of no fighter that ever fought at them weights making this kind of money. Like, this is insane, bro. The money this guy's making. They don't make money like that in them low ass divisions, bro. It's a different guy. But that's how you handle that. And the reason I brought him up, Inoue went through the same thing with Chocolatito that David went through with Canelo. It's the same thing. The difference is, you see how he handled it. Okay, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of everybody else. Then fuck it. That's not what you did, David. You had a 3 fights at light heavyweight and said, "Fuck it, I want to eat. I can't stop sniffing coke and eating. is the real reason he's at cruiserweight, right? I can't stop, bro. I got sniff coke, bro. Shout out to motherfucking Jay. Jay, what it do?
How we doing, Joe?
Ain't shit, man. We out here, and it's actually a good fight. It's actually a good fight, him and Zerto. I'm really wrestling with it because I have officially picked David, but that's just me hedging my bets.
I
Because
have a question for you.
go ahead. Go
Let's
ahead.
forget about David. What if Zerto wins and let's say Bevo moves up?
Well, then you could do that rematch because Zerto wants it. I saw Zerto say he wants a rematch with Bevo. Now, in fairness, that's a fight for hardcores. Any way you slice it, Zerto
Yeah.
and Bevo fighting. That's really a fight for hardcores. That's not a fight for casual fans. But I did see him say that he wants that fight, and the main thing with Zerto winning is this, and it's like any other upset, like the upset we just saw this past Friday. Upsets are good for boxing because they remind people that this is a sport. It's not scripted. Things can go wrong. The guy who's supposed to be the favorite, he can lose. If David goes in there and he beats this guy on Sunday morning, nobody's really going to be surprised. No, nobody's going to really be surprised by that. But if the Mexican monster unravels, if he's beaten, that's going to shock a lot of people because, the casuals are sort of trying to lean on David. Yeah, he's got like a little fake buzz going. They don't want to spend no money, but they talk about him in the chat rooms, right? I honestly believe it would be better for boxing if Zerto won. As strange as that might sound. Yeah, because David, you're not gonna become the face of boxing, bro. You're not. You're 30 years old. There are no super fights for you to have. They're gone already. The biggest fight you could probably have is Bivol. And I don't know that anybody on the panel, I don't really think of that as a super fight. It's a great fight, but it's not a super fight in terms of scale. It's not Canelo Golovkin. It's not Crawford Spence. It's not that kind of fight. It's not. It's a good fight.
He have to go to heavyweight for that, to be real. But I think he got Jairo Bataya. That's a real good fight.
Yeah, good fight.
Bivol and Beterbiev, yeah, that's about it. That's literally it.
And those are good fights. Those. It's like super fights are different. Trinidad versus De La Hoya is my favorite super fight to bring up because that was a textbook super fight. Two unbeaten guys, they're winning. They're both looking good. They come from rival nations and they're staying in character as they climb up the ranks, yada, yada, yada. That's the textbook super fight. Whereas, Benavidez versus Jai, and I like that fight. Like, it's a great fight. It's the best fight to make a cruiserweight. But generally, Americans don't watch cruiserweights. So it's not going to have that big fight feel. Like, nah, it doesn't. It's a great fight. It's a great fight. Both unbeaten, right? But it's not a super fight. No. I don't know what super fights are actually left for David Benavidez. The only one that comes close, and that's because of his resume, because he beat the guy that you want, and because he beat the guy that you're about to fight. The closest one is Bivol. But if you did that on pay-per-view, Fig, what is that really going to do? The fuck is that going to do?
Yeah.
What, 200,000?
Maybe. That's kind of generous, to be honest. I mean,
I'm saying, but that's how you know it's not a super fight. That super fights bring people out. You can steal any fight, right? Any fight can be stolen. But you didn't want to steal Maypac. You wanted to see that. Legit, you want to see Maypac. Even the McGregor fight, because it was built up for so long, that was a super fight. It was a dumb fight. It was only a super fight due to stupid MMA fans who really thought Magic Mick is gonna. Okay, bro, right? But it had that feel of wonder that no, I don't want to steal this. I want to see this. I want to sit down. I want to enjoy this. I don't want to wrestle with a laggy stream. I want to experience this. And there are no fights like that for David. Save the Canelo fight.
Unfortunately. Do you think Xander and Boots kind of is going to fit that criteria? I mean, they're both not as popular as De La Hoya and Trinidad, but they got kind of like the same Few
I don't.
undefeated fighters, two
It's
nations. They both young, undefeated.
it's an amazing fight. It is honest, like just being a hardcore boxing fan. It has a lot of the elements that you want as a boxing fan. You have questions, they need answers. They're both unbeaten. Neither guy is on the slide. No, they're both relatively in their prime. I think Boots is in his prime, and Xander is approaching his prime because he's only 23. A man is not in his prime at 23. He's really in his prime in between 25 and 35. That's your prime years. But it's a great fight, but they just don't have the audience yet to make it a real super fight. Like usually super fights are between established forces of nature, Floyd, Manny, Canelo, Golovkin, Crawford. Even though I didn't think Spence was much, but other people did. And and there's an air that, like, I remember when I woke up that fucking Saturday, man. Oh, my dick was so fucking hard. I was like, yes, it's fucking
I remember that
Saturday,
shit too.
man.
That was one of my favorite sporting moments in period.
Yeah,
Like
It's-
watching
it's-
Crawford beat the fuck out of Spence, bro. The amount of crow I had to feed people. It was just like, yes, fuck you.
dog.
It was so
just
satisfying, bro.
amazing.
It
The
wasn't.
air was electric, bro. It was fucking electric.
It wasn't so much that Spence lost as much as it was all them fuckhead fans of his that talked all that shit for all that time finally got shut the fuck up. You know,
Yo,
Because
it was
Spence is
like-
not a bad guy. Because, well, he did fuck over Derek James, but he's you could say, in hindsight, to give him his flowers, he's kind of an honorable guy.
He
Kind
is.
of.
He
Kind-
did
like,
everything he said he was gonna do. Like, I'm a big
Yeah,
Spence fan. He said everything he was gonna do. I'm gonna collect the belts on this side. I'm gonna fight Crawford. Motherfucker flew through a windshield. All that shit. Didn't stop a retinal tear. Still did it.
Yeah.
Like, didn't
Yeah.
let nobody stop him from doing what he said he was gonna do.
And now he's,
But I mean, he
he's
got his
supposed
ass
to,
whooped.
he's supposed to be fighting Tim Zoo, and I don't know, man. Him and Tim, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I'm starting
I
to
got
lean
Earl.
towards. I'm starting to lean towards Tim. I'm starting to.
Tim gonna pack him up.
Yeah, I
He's
got
a-
Earl, bro. I
he's-
can't fold. I've never been a Tim Zoom guy.
No, I mean, look, fair is fair, but the main thing is the inactivity. That, bro, look, it's been 3 years, bro. How many guys actually, with the exception of Sugar Ray Leonard, that's the only guy I know that, like, yeah, he was out for a minute, and he had a retinal injury, I believe. That's what sidelined him. But Spence ain't Sugar Ray Leonard. Well, you get off the couch, 3 years on the couch to go fight at a new weight against a young guy.
And look who Tim lost to. Tim lost to Pandora and that Russian. I mean, Spence ain't got none of the physical qualities of those guys, nor do he hit as hard as those guys. And you ain't fought in 3 years. Tim gonna pack him up.
I swear to God,
Yeah, I
Greg,
don't think.
if he's got if Ronnie Shields is in that fucking corner, bro, I'm going with Tim. I never saw
I think
nobody.
Spence a dog, man. That dude a dog, bro.
Jules
Listen,
love
I
Rodney
ne-
Isn't
Shields.
Tim a little
Yo,
bigger?
I never
Isn't Tim a little
seen
bigger?
nobody. I never saw no fighter go to Ronnie and get better. I'm just saying. I seen it with McGirt. I seen it with Roach, with Robles, with Diaz. I seen it with a lot of guys. I never saw nobody go to Ronnie and get better. I never seen that shit. I never seen that shit. Yo, dog, you'd be better off going to the UK and getting Shane fucking McGuigan before you get Ronnie Shields, bro. Like, is you just using him because he's there? Because Ronnie Shields is like the PBC in-house coach. Like, yeah, if you're a PBC fighter, you don't got nothing going on, you're gonna end up in 2 places, homeboy. You either gonna end up
PBC
with Bob Santos, you gonna end up with Bob Santos or Ronnie Shields. It's one of the other. You know what I mean? That's how you usually go.
It's
Real
like
shit,
they start out with Ronnie and then go to Ishmael Salas.
No. I'll tell you what. If Spence were going to Salas, I would have a lot more faith in him. Salas is one of those rare train. Like, Salas is a guy I have seen fighters. The best version of Joe Joyce was with Salas. The best version of Kazuto Ioka was with Salas. The reason all of a sudden Rolly got a really good jab and good setup, Salas. Yeah, I ain't gonna like Salas is one of them ones, but Bob Santos Ronnie Shields. Nah, son. I never seen nobody go to them and get better. I never seen that. God bless them both, but I never seen that. Shout out to motherfucking George. Jose Benavidez Jr. versus Victor Ortiz at 147. Damn. Yo, I'm gonna say something. I'm 43. In 43 years of being alive, I never gave a shit about Victor Ortiz. Not even once. Not even once, bro. I'm talking about when he was coming through. I didn't give a fuck. When he was coming through, first thing I thought is, yo, what the fuck, man? What the fuck is wrong with his face? That's
I
the
was thinking
first
about
thing I
Virgil
thought.
for a second. Said Victor Ortiz.
Victor, that tried to headbutt Floyd. That Victor that he was in Expendables 3. That guy, the one who fought Berto 2 times,
Yeah, he
quit on the
quit.
second one.
Yeah, he a quitter. Hey, you know, Jose ain't a quitter, bro. You say what you want about him. That dude tough.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Jose, man. I think Victor has more talent than Jose. I do think that he's got more talent than Jose, but he's got quit in him also. So I'm gonna go with Jose on that one. I'm gonna go Jose, George. Go Jose. Like I said, I've been alive 43 years. I never once gave a fuck about Victor Ortiz. I'm not even once, bro. And yeah, it looks like Floyd's gonna have to do this thing, man. Looks like he's gonna have to do this thing with Manny.
Man, he gonna take that O, bro.
Man, I ain't gonna front. I feel bad as fuck for Floyd, bro. Like 300 million, nigga. Like that shit is fucking. He stole 300 million.
It's karma,
It ain't no
man.
way you thought you would be in this position ever, bro. Like, come
No,
on, dog. That shit. Is
honestly, like off of those, I was saying it the other day, Fig. You don't even got to count all the other fights that he had where he made money. Off of 2 fights that he had, he should have never had to work a day in his life again. Off of 2
real.
fights, just 2 of the ones that he had. Manny and McGregor, like, bro, them shits you cleaned up. The McGregor numbers were just short of the Pacquiao numbers. Like, it was right behind it, like massive numbers. And it's like, dog, for them 2 fights alone, you should have been set, bro.
Bro, for real, like that shit is crazy. Like, I could understand, like, all right, motherfucker stole 10 million, 300 million, dog. Are you fucking insane?
That's fucking
like, what
nuts.
the fuck?
Yo, he
Hey,
should have fucking.
And then motherfuckers like.
He should have shot Al Heyman in the chest.
Real shit, bro. I would have hired motherfucking John Wick, nigga. That's
Everybody
gold
feel
coins and
these,
shit.
Why you don't have them?
Yo, you understand how much money that is, bro? Yo,
that's a fortune.
I'm surprised how PBC
people
ain't looking
outside
for him.
fight. Yo, it's people fighting outside for $40 fucking dollars, bro. $40, bro.
300 million, bro. Like that shit is sad.
Bodies are getting caught on the premise that you might have a few $100s on you at the time, bro. Bodies for you. 300 what? Million what?
Like, how do you get away with that shit, bro? How do you get away with that? Like that shit is crazy.
I trust, man. You know, it really is the trust thing, and I said this, Fig, that's how you know that Floyd is not a street person, and he never was. You trusted Al on the premise that he got you out of the contract with Top Rank, and just off of that, you was open off of that, like, oh, this is my guy. You was just open off of that. You don't have that natural, innate distrust. It's a feeling like, yo, this dude be around too much. You know a little bit too much about me. You know, it's innate distrust that you have for people.
I mean,
you trusted that guy.
You got to think about it. Yeah, you got to think about, like, you got this guy, you making the most money a boxer ever made in the history of boxing with this dude, and it's like, bro, he stole all your fucking money, bro. You got to come out of retirement. Like, I saw interviews with Floyd talking about, like, his dad showing signs that his uncle had and shit, and he's showing signs of memory loss and shit. He don't want to be fighting for real. Like, and now he got to. It's like, bro, this guy can happen to anybody. Like, that shit is crazy.
It's the karma, bro. You know, like it's the karma. Like it really looks like a genuine case of karma, because the only things you ever cared about throughout your active boxing career was your money, or at least that's the side of yourself that you showed the world. That's the character that you gave them. So there's an irony in it that now you don't have the money, and very soon you may not have your own. Now, look, I'm not wishing shit upon him, but I ain't gonna lie that if he did lose the O, it would be pretty fucking funny.
And to Manny, bro.
It
And
would
to
be
Manny
crazy.
Pacquiao of all people. Like, it's one thing you
That
lose
would
to
be
somebody
crazy.
else. Manny took it.
You know,
But
and
I can't hate on this man, bro. It's like it's a character. You know what I mean? That's like me hating on fucking Triple H. Yeah, I hope Triple H catch cancer because he fucking
yeah, I mean,
pedigree Shawn
no,
Michaels at
look,
one time. Like the
I
fuck,
know, I get it,
like motherfuckers be
I get it.
emotional.
But it's just such a role reversal because shit, far as I knew, Manny was awful with money. You know what I mean? That's what I always heard. And from people in the industry. Manny's awful with money. Turns out Manny's got successful businesses in Asia, right? You know, he bought the fucking Mayweather gym. They got all these fucking projects that they're working on. You know, and it's like, what is it gonna end up where Manny ends up with more money than Floyd?
I mean, he lives in the Philippines. Like it's like $1 here is like 44 Filipino dollars. That
Yeah, but
motherfucker,
no,
bro.
just
Motherfucker, the truth over there, bro. Nigga, the truth. I ain't gonna front, bro. Bro, you take your money to the Philippines,
That
you
was
that guy,
crazy.
bro.
Hey, no,
I
for
think
real.
Tyson Fury's
Hey,
over
fellas.
there.
Hey, fellas.
Go ahead,
think about
country.
it- Think about it this way, though. Don't think for 1 second, even if Manny's bad with money, that he wasn't smart enough to hire a team of people that were good with money to help him out.
No,
Especially
yeah,
other
country.
people
Wait,
in this
country.
country,
The shit is that they
wanna
were
help his
still
ass.
the team that he had. Like I remember hearing things that Michael Conks was stealing money from him, which that used to be his manager way back when, like Michael Conks, and he had another guy from the Philippines, a husband and wife that you know he was help. They were supposed to be helping him and managing money or whatever. They stole money. That everything you heard about Manny Pacquiao with money was that he was irresponsible with money and he was doing the MC Hammer thing. You know, MC Hammer lost all his money by spreading it out through his entire community. Like, yeah, you go everywhere with a fucking army. So yeah, it's expensive. And Manny was doing that shit. But if it ends up that Manny Pacquiao ends up with more money in the end than Floyd, my God, that is a Greek tragedy. Like, wow, bro. Wow.
That's how he would beat him.
Yeah. Shout out to George. 25 to 35 is the average, but some peak early, like Tyson. When you talk about Tyson's peak and what we saw from him, my favorite heavyweight, I don't even think that was the most dangerous version of Mike we could have seen. Given what he was showing us at that young age, 21, he's looking like this, 2021. Imagine if, you know, he stays on the straight and narrow, doesn't sniff coke, doesn't fuck Robin Gibbons, doesn't go to prison. Bro, he would have been fucking Achilles, bro. This fucking guy. He would have
Real
been
talk.
fucking Achilles, bro. You know, it's all the other shit that caught up to him that, my God, if that's how he was looking at 20 and 21, imagine if none of the bad shit happens and he just stays that course, he would have been unbeatable. You know, what people say about Roy also, to a lesser extent, if you would have retired off of that John Ruiz fight, bro, it's what a shame. What a shame. Shout out to Mr. Calderon. Who's the better con man, Don King or Al
Al
Heyman?
Heyman.
Oh, Don by
Al
far.
fucking Heyman.
Al Heyman.
Al Heyman by a long shot.
You
by
think?
a landslide. Yeah,
I think
con
Al
man.
took his-
No, country con man, not promoter. Con man. Yeah, that's Al Heyman. He's
All
a
right,
better con.
all right.
Bro, he convinced.
got-
He sold 200 fighters the same fucking dream, bro.
Right. Like that
Right.
dude the
This is
truth,
the
bro.
goat.
And,
This is
and
the
hey,
goat.
George, and hey,
Go ahead,
George,
go ahead,
a fraud,
go ahead.
a fraud against the fans or the fighters? Because
Both.
Don King gave us some fucking mega fights, bro.
Don
Unfortunately,
King Don King is one of the greatest promoters this sport has ever seen. It wasn't for free. It was at the cost of the fighters, honestly. Like, yeah, it was at the expense of the fighters. But if you really think about the most legendary promoters this sport has ever seen, you got to mention Don, bro. You have to, bro. Like, yes,
Yeah.
biggest cards, biggest fights, biggest names, biggest shows. Yeah, you got to put Don in there. Whether you like him or not. I didn't say he was a nice guy, but was he good at his job? Absolutely. Hell yeah. Shout out to George. Triple H can't wrestle anymore because of his heart. Yeah, I heard about that shit. I heard he was
Yeah,
having
the roids finally got to him, man. That's what happens with a lot of those wrestlers. He's
Yeah,
lucky
he
he
said
didn't
that he
die
was-
in the ring.
That's what he said, that he was going through heart failure and like they had to, work on him. They had to put, I think, stents in him. like
Yeah.
ASAP. Like, yeah, he was going through heart failure because of this shit.
Do you know
But, you
how
know-
many wrestlers have died in the ring of a heart attack, dude? For real.
Bro, that's
a lot.
Like that
What is
film.
it? The
Like the
roids
film,
give you
The
an
Wrestler.
the roids give you an enlarged heart, is what it is. Right, country? That they make the shit.
They totally damage your heart and take a toll on it, man. That's Gary Albright. He died in the ring in Japan of a heart attack in the middle of a match, and he was a star in Japan. You know, it was crazy.
Shout out to Papa Foundry. Which boxers eat corn for the shape and not the taste?
Yeah,
bro. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Josue Vargas. That's at least one. Go out on a limb. That guy eats corn for the shape and
Who's
not
the
the taste.
most donkey looking boxer?
Donkey? Context. What does looking donkey mean? Like what? Like a
I don't know,
jackass?
just big, large teeth. Some shit like a fucking horse.
Broly.
Broly.
Fuck,
All right.
It's an easy
Like
one.
he eat corn out of a bucket type shit. You know?
Yeah, that's fucking Broly. Yo, listen, he don't even got boy. Listen, Broly don't got
también.
Broly don't. No. Broly don't got to boil the corn to eat it. That's where he's at with his shit. He could just take it off the stock straight, bite right into that shit, bro. Fucking Broly. Shout out to Big Rolo. He's still going in on Devin and them, man, too. I just seen the shit. He got another fight hype interview talking about them, but you know, I mean, unless you bought the fight Ryan, you ain't talking about nothing. You see what I mean? That
people
you
saying
and
Devin ducked him.
I don't look at it as I don't look at that as if I'm just, you know, I'm gonna be 100%. Do I think he's ducking Rolly? No, because I don't think he's afraid of Rolly. I don't think he's afraid of Rolly. I don't think he's avoiding that fight for fear that he might lose. That is a money situation. That's literally what that is. It's a money situation.
All day.
You know that, yeah, like you looking for them to give you 6, and well, they're not gonna fucking do that. Like, fuck out of here, bro. You a promoter. You put the fucking money up, and you know that's what that situation is. Shout out to George. Roids didn't help, but he also had a heart defect. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's even worse, man. When you take roids with a heart defect, you're asking for fucking trouble, bro.
Yeah, man. You know, all them guys over there on roids. You know, Ryan, the best fight for Ryan right now really is Connor. You know, if this Connor thing were not a thing, he could go straight into the thing with Rolly, is what I'm saying. But this Connor fight, like, bro, if you could get them morons at Zuffa to pay for that shit, yeah, fuck him up, bro. Go ahead. That's an easy lick. Yeah, go ahead, get him. You know what I'm saying? Got his blonde Pablo Escobar shit going on. Yeah, go ahead, get him. You know,
like I give people praise when that character is that good. Like when the character they play that good that it fills you with actual emotion. Like I remember watching Game of Thrones and that fucking Joffrey kid, bro. That motherfucker had me like grown man angry, bro. In real life.
When I was
watching
Walking Dead, bro. Wait, when I was watching Walking Dead, bro, you know, I genuinely it was only for a moment because I was really immersed in the show. When Negan, I was scared, bro. I was scared what the fuck he just beat the shit out of Glenn. Like, I was scared what the fuck he gonna do next. Like, yo, this dude is a fucking maniac. Great character, man. Great fucking character. And you know what? That guy, Jeffrey Dean fucking Morgan, that's a great fucking actor, bro. He was fucking the comedian in The Watchmen. He was Negan on Walking Dead, and he was a pervert. He got a movie called The Apartment with Hilary Swank, where he was coming in at night and shagging her at night. Shit's wrong, by the way. But that was the movie. It's like, yo, this dude is a hell of a fucking actor, bro. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, man.
Jules, he's a good actor. I mean, he's always playing the same guy, if you look at it, but he's just so charismatic that, you know, you don't even kind of...
I would disagree. If you see The Apartment, if you watch The Apartment, the guy that he's playing in The Apartment is nothing like Negan, is nothing like the comedian. He's literally playing like a weirdo, a recluse, that he's the superintendent of a building that his father owned. And you got to see it. Like, I wouldn't say that he's playing the same guy over and over again. I would say that about The Rock. Like, yeah, The Rock is The
Yeah,
Rock.
The Rock
in
is
every movie.
definitely that.
Vin Diesel is Vin Diesel in every movie, bro. The movie is playing Vin Diesel. If anything.
Keanu Reeves is Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
Hey, but he's
because
cool. He's
no,
cool though.
listen,
Keanu Reeves is
Neo
cool.
ain't listen. Neo ain't nothing but John Wick in front of a computer, bro. If we're honest, bro, like this is
Yeah,
fucking John
pretty
Wick in front of a
much.
computer, bro. Fucking Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fucking Microsoft John Wick, bro. And John Wick is the motherfucker from Speed. You know the with Sandra Bullock and shit. You
Yep.
know how to
Well,
drive this car.
well, they
You know what I'm
figured
saying?
out the less dialogue that he says, the better, because the shit that he says is like, yeah, I want my car back.
Now let me
He's a
tell you
terrible actor.
something. Let me tell you something about that guy. It's so weird, but I guess once again, this is just part of getting older. At one point, Keanu Reeves was sort of the butt of jokes in the sense that he was a terrible actor, like a lot of people. This is what people used to say. You see, this is what
Yeah, I
people used
remember.
to say when he was young and when he was in his prime. They used to say he's a terrible actor. But if you fast forward, he is literally part of more than one of the biggest franchises in movies. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was big in its time, and he was in 2 of those. 3 now. Matrix, fucking forget about it. Matrix, what the
Speed,
fuck was bigger
Speed,
than Speed, right? And Speed was big, but franchises, bro, like where there was more than one movie. The John Wick shit is the latest shit. Like, bro, this dude, you can say he's a terrible actor, but yo, he's just a
badass.
lucky dog ass motherfucker that he's just part of some of the most successful franchises Hollywood has ever seen. Consistently, bro. This
Like
fucking guy.
Carl Urban, bro. Right now, Carl Urban.
Nah, you gotta respect
From-
Carl Urban. You know where he
No,
started?
no, no. I'm saying
He's
he's badass. Like
oh yeah,
he's
he's
getting his.
badass. He's badass. He started on Xena, the Warrior. No, actually he started on Hercules with Kevin
And Lord of the
Sorbo.
Rings. He came out of Lord of the
No,
Rings
no,
as
no.
well.
Before mucho año antes de eso, manín. Mucho año antes de eso. Young Carl Urban, go to Hercules with Kevin Sorbo. That's where he's a young guy in that shit. He got blonde hair in that shit, bro. Carl fucking Urban. He's another one who really came up. Shakura Haney does irreparable damage to boxing, to irreparable damage to my sleep pattern. Fucking George. George said, Luis. Oh my, well, yo, what kind of fight? He said
Oh my
Luis
God.
Resto versus Antonio Margarito.
Hey, Jules.
Or-
Jump 2 brought up a good point. He says Dom wasn't able to keep him on the hook as long as Al did. That's the difference. He's got a good point.
No, I mean, no, it's a good point. Like he said, remember, it was con man country. If it were promoter, it's a different question. But con man, Al Heyman sold over 200 fighters the same dream while stealing over $300 million from Floyd Mayweather. Like that's some goat con man
He
shit,
learned
bro.
something, but he
Yeah,
learned something
that's
from
some
being in
Wolf
the
of Wall
music
Street
industry,
level
man.
shit right there.
Like, bro, like how? And you know he's doing the same thing to Javante because they let the cat out of the bag. There was a fashion designer that was working with Javante on some clothes, and he said the same shit. To do any business with Javante, or for Javante to get any money, or to have Javante send you any money, it all comes from Al. Yo, dog,
Oh nah, bro.
this dude is
Javante gotta yeah,
this dude
Javante
is
gotta
the
get out of that shit, bro.
This dude is the goat of con men, bro. Like, yo, does he study for this shit? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, it's
Didn't he go to
amazing.
Harvard?
Hey,
It's a
He
fucking
did go
Harvard
to Harvard.
graduate.
You know, he did go to Harvard. He
It's a
did. So
smart man, bro. A
pick
smart
that
evil
shit up
motherfucker.
over there, bro. Evil motherfucker, bro. Like, how could you leave Floyd 49 years old with nothing?
Right?
Ah,
Like, you didn't take a
damn.
little bit, bro. Like you took the
You
whole
couldn't even
fucking
deposit.
Pacquiao.
Just put 50 million aside for Floyd. Like, look, Floyd, I stole like 250 mil, but here, here's 50 mil.
Yeah, man,
Left,
something.
left what
Fuck,
a college
bro.
fund, you know, like a little
Like
college
beating
fund
on
for
your
us.
chest, humming Wolf of Wall Street level shit right
Yo,
here.
that's fucking
But
nuts.
You know what? Why he didn't? Because Floyd demonstrated that he couldn't responsibly handle the money anyway. So he was
I mean,
like,
Floyd
"Fuck
can't
this."
read.
Yeah,
No, I mean, honestly, country, he just saw Floyd as a patsy. You know, look, he doesn't have a conscience. He a lot of people don't in today's day and age. In fairness, Al Heyman, I'm saying, Al doesn't have a conscience, right? I could never. someone unsuspecting. Nah, I can't do that. That's bad karma, man. Something bad's gonna happen to you. You do some shit like that. But he doesn't have a conscience, you know. Floyd fought for all those years, man. He's got nothing to show for it. That's horrible, bro. And now, I mean, the way it is, and I said this shit, Fig. If Netflix gives him 20 mil for the fight that he's
It's
about to have
nothing.
with Manny, it's nothing. 7 of that, because I said the shit. They're gonna tax the 20, so you'll probably end up with 15 or less, and then you owe the tax man another 7 from the 2023, 2020, whatever taxes or whatever you owe for that shit. That's 7. Then you owe these guys 3, this guy 1. You owe the rental people 300,000 for the condo in New York. You owe the other motherfucker 100,000. That shit is gonna eat that fucking purse like a hot pocket, bro. Fuck.
Hey,
He
the
like
irony.
50 years old, bro. Like,
The irony
bro.
is that when I think Floyd fought Logan Paul, and I think Pacquiao won a title, and he was like, oh yeah, no, he needs to fight because he needs the money. I don't need to fight, you know. You can't eat legacy,
Right?
you know what I'm saying? Like he was like talking shit about him,
Can't feed.
and look at it,
Yo,
and
money,
look at
yeah,
it
yeah,
now.
money, yeah, yeah. I was talking about getting a fucking job. His daughter was talking about getting a job. Like, I'm working part time just for like, yo, dog. You know, it's sad, man. Like, look, I'm not gonna, I don't know him, so I can't say that he's a fucked up guy or not. He seems like a fucked up guy though, because of stuff that other people said, if that stuff is true. But damn, that's fucked up, man. That you could climb that high and lose it all. Wow, bro.
To
What
some
a
guy
fuck.
nobody even knows what he looks like.
Right?
All the
Fuck.
signs were there, like all the signs were there. Like nobody even seen
Yeah, but
this.
you know, I took a lot of abuse for seeing that shit coming. I took a lot of abuse for seeing that shit coming. It's just, look, man, at that level, it's not about the only color anybody cares about is green, bro. At that level, that's the only
Yep.
color anybody cares about is green. You know, and why on earth would Floyd Mayweather, who already retired, have to have his money handled and handed to him by Al Heyman? So what the fuck is happening to the rest of that money the rest of the time? You're fucking it off. You're making bad investments, cocaine, hookers, sowing seeds and taking care of debts. Like, it's very obvious what was going on. But, you know, I took a lot of abuse for calling that shit out. In the end, you know, and now look, the media refuses to cover it. They refuse. Okay. I'm not going to stop saying it. This should be the biggest story in all of sports. It should be.
Real
And there's
talk.
a reason, that it's not. If for no other reason than a cautionary tale to other fighters. And another reason they don't want to talk about it. Well, look, you guys are sitting here beating this fucking drum about how amazing the fucking Ali Act. Where was it for Floyd? If it's the shield that protects the fighters, it makes sure they don't get fucked over. These two stories are happening at the same time. And the journalists don't seem to connect the dots that, yeah, the Ali Act, it's full of shit, bro. There is no office and there's no cubicle anywhere in any government building where there is a task force that enforces the Ali Act. It is just a fucking guideline at the very most. Yeah, it's just a guideline. Nobody's going to come sniffing around. Did you violate the Ali Act? No,
And he's not a promoter technically, right? He's like an advisor.
right? Right? If there were a
Damn.
task force, a watchdog group, that would be the first guy they go to. Like, well, how are you an advisor and a manager, but you're also brokering deals with networks, which is what promoters do? Like, it wouldn't be hard to pin him to the wall if this were actually enforced. The Ali Act, for its good intentions, it's a joke. It didn't take the American promotional outfits long to find a way around it. Samson Lukowicz is not a promoter. He's a manager. Al Heyman is not really a manager. He's a promoter. When you swap the titles, all sorts of fun shit starts to happen, bro. You do all sorts of crazy shit. Shout out to George, Nerd Tom, Daredevil versus Nightwing. I got a hot take. I'm gonna go with Nightwing.
Nightwing is Robin, right?
Yeah, but Robin
Yeah,
was
but
trained.
he's like
He's
rebel. He's
trained.
like rebel. My bad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's not that. It's not that. He was trained by fucking Batman, bro. All right, Batman.
Yeah, it's trying to
You know,
replace him, ain't it?
Yeah, and he went
I
rogue.
mean, right. Like Daredevil, Daredevil's a good guy. He does what he does. He's blind, but he's stuff.
You fuck Carmen
I,
Electra,
he
you
did
know?
fuck Carmen Electra, right?
And
True.
She-Hulk.
All right.
And She-Hulk.
Prime Carmen Electra too. Yeah.
I mean, look, that's a good piece of ass. In fairness, but I don't think fighting wise. I really don't think fighting wise. Daredevil is on Nightwing's level. I don't like. Nah, Nightwing is he trained under fucking Batman, bro. Right? You not what the fuck you gonna tell him about having hands, bro? Yeah, I got Nightwing in that shit, man. I got Nightwing. And yeah, man. Wow. If he loses his own, man. Wow. Do, how many people on the panel actually believe that Floyd still has it to win that fight in September?
I don't know, man. I'm skeptical.
I mean, come on,
Hey,
don't fucking duck the question now. Who believes that Floyd still can beat Manny in September?
I want to
I
stay
think
on
the
code
telling
and say
sign
he
is.
can, man, but like, bruh.
I think the
yeah.
telling sign. Manny's been fighting fighters, and this guy's been fighting nobody.
Well,
Exhibitions, bro.
I have a question. What do you think he would rather lose, his O or his money?
His
Ooh. I think he would rather lose his O than his money. I think if the price were right, if he could, in other words, if he could get back the 300 mil that Heyman stole, I think he'd be okay
Lo va,
losing that
lo va a
all.
perder otra vez, güey.
Right? Like, yeah, I mean, if you told him, like, look, you give us your all, we give you 300 mil. Hey, sign me up, bro. Fucking boxing record. Fuck boxing. Give me that money. You know? That's
Shit,
what
Oscar got his rematch now.
I
Yeah,
mean.
I would feel better about him fighting Oscar than Manny. Manny's still fucking competing with Mario Barrios
Oh,
and
and
shit. Like,
and the
bruh.
thing is that Manny still has an axe to grind is the main thing. Manny's coming from a place of vengeance. So there are real bad intentions there. Like, yeah, I want to fuck you up. I always want to fuck you up. And now, I have a unique opportunity to do that. You know? The way Floyd beat him, you got to be sharp, man. You really like the way Floyd beat him, heavily reliant on speed, timing, and reflexes that he catch, man. He boop, coming through the door, boop, and then get out of there. You're 49, bro. I mean, and I know he's what 47, but yo, he been out here. He been out here, bro.
Yeah, his
You
style
know?
never really depended on quick ass reflexes. At 50, it's a wrap, bro. Like them shit's gone, bro. Like
Oh
it's
my
a wrap.
god. That could be quite the fucking scene in September if that fucking fight really happens, man.
I know,
Quite the
right?
fucking scene, bro. But they don't want to talk about it. They really don't want to talk about it. They just want to pretend that the Muhammad Ali Act is Magneto's fucking force field, protecting protecting all the fighters. Shout out to me. Does Manny still have enough to beat him? The thing is that Manny's style is not a style for a young man, right? It's not. But it's more crude than Floyd's, and that's the main thing. It's more crude than Floyd's, and it's a little easier to implement, right? Because it's a simple style. Granted that it did rely on a back and forth hop from Manny, so he can double up on that jab and bring the backhand over. Like he's got to tell when he does that shit. But a lot of what Floyd was really good at, a lot of what made him successful. Yeah, he was a great boxer, great fundamentals, great X's and O's, but he was physically gifted. He was fast as shit. You can't be slow and pull off a pull counter. Oh, bro, you're gonna get punched in the face. You can't be
Yeah.
slow and you have to have speed and reflexes. And his
Yeah.
he was super sharp when he was younger. Now, I mean, I don't know what you can do now, bro.
Rigland
You know,
Thomas says he's going to bring Kenny Bayless out of retirement.
high butt Kenny.
Big Booty Bayless, Triple B.
I remember, I forgot what fight it was, man. We had a fight party, man. And somebody called him High Butt Kenny. Fucking Corona went in my nose, bro. I fucking laughed.
Hey, but who had the most changed trainers out of the two?
Who, out of
Like in their
Manny and
corner.
Floyd?
Yeah.
Out of Manny and Floyd? No, I mean they were pretty consistent with their train. I mean, Floyd stayed with Roger, bro. Like he's with Roger. And Manny, you know, I forgot who trained him before he got with Freddie, but once he got with Freddie, pretty much stuck it out with Freddie, and he's with Freddie now. They didn't really change a lot about their corners, those two. Not really. It's more Oscar. Like Oscar went through a lot of trainers. AJ's going through a lot of trainers. Um, who else? There's another fighter who went through a lot of fucking trainers. I'm forgetting somebody. Like, I had a lot of fucking
AJ went through
trainers.
hella trainers, bro.
AJ done, man. AJ is on a mission. And then if you think about the girls, Chantel Cameron, she got a new trainer every year. New training team, bro. You know what I mean?
So what's your
I
opinion?
don't
What's your opinion about like elite fighters and the amount of trainers they have versus other fighters that have never changed their trainers? Because also
well
there's fucking go ahead.
if you notice, the creme de la creme, especially these days, a lot doesn't change about the corner because a lot doesn't have to. Crawford was with Bomac. With Bomac. Usyk's training situation. Eno was trained by his father and is still trained by his father. You see? That a lot doesn't change. Now maybe a lot doesn't change because a lot doesn't have to. Now, if you're Oscar and you start losing fights, you start looking for answers. Same with AJ. You start losing fights, you start looking for answers. So maybe that's why these guys are running through trainers like fucking fruit roll-ups. But generally, what I've noticed about a lot of the top shelf, top tier fighters, a lot doesn't change in the corner. Not really. Like, nah, not really. They usually stick it out with a guy for a long while, if anything even does change. And maybe it's because when you're winning and you retire that way. Look, Andre Ward, well, whether you like Virgil Hunter or not as a trainer, what you can say is, look, when he got with Virgil Hunter, he stayed with Virgil Hunter and retired with Virgil Hunter. Right? Right? Same with Crawford and Bomac. You see? I mean, like these undefeated fighters, that they go that entire time. Yeah, they seem to last a long time with a guy. And it's the guys that
Yeah.
lose that start to it's the guys that lose a couple of fights that start to toggle through different trainers because they're looking for answers. They got holes they think they got to patch up, so they try to find ways to do that. Yeah, elite fighters. Well, look, I'm not gonna say elite because there are actually a lot of elite fighters, but the creme de la creme, if you notice, a lot doesn't really change in the corner very often. When you've seen a guy who's like top tier, top shelf, he's running through fucking trainers all day. I ain't seen that shit. Now, if you start getting your ass beat, well, it might happen.
I think Crawford got the right answer. Like, you got a trainer for each fucking style that specializes in each style. And that shit's just like,
I
Yeah.
just think
that's what
he
you
built.
need.
I just think he built for fighting, man. I stand on that. Like, you can't train to become Crawford. Like, you can't train to become Usyk. Like, you can't train. You could do all the same drills they do, the same regimentation, the same diet, but you won't be them. They got something. They just understand fighting because that's the
Right.
it was built for that shit. They
Yeah.
understand fighting.
Well, yeah, because you got Danny Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, where you're like, you know what? It might be a good idea for you to change your corner. But at the end
I
of
don't
the
like
day,
when
how much difference it's gonna make?
Gafford.
yeah, I don't like when people change their corner. I just like when they add pieces to it. You know what I mean? Because it's like you get this far with this person. That person's still useful. It got you to this high level. Just add more to your team. Don't take away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, add, don't subtract. Add, don't subtract. I mean, that makes sense. But at the same time, we watch a lot of boxing, fellas. How many times have we actually seen a guy toggle through trainers and it worked and it kept working? Where the guy toggled through trainers, I ain't seen that a whole heap. Not a whole lot, no. Daniel probably would qualify because him and Don Charles, that works. That seems to work. And if he beats Fabio, then yeah, that definitely worked. Going to Don Charles, you saw a difference immediately with him. Difference immediately. He was with Shane McGuigan for a while. Things happen. Goes to Don Charles. Yeah, shit is working. He's fucking people up. He's confident. He's talking shit. That's one of the few times I've seen a guy go to a guy and he really got better as soon as he went to that guy.
I
Would you
think
say
Rolly got
that?
a lot better when he went to Salas. Like I noticed, even though he got
Yeah.
knocked out by Pitbull, I still even before the knockout, he was doing like I noticed the difference.
Yeah, Salas is one of them dudes that Salas is one of the few dudes that has that immediate effect on a fighter. Like I said, the best version of Joe Joyce that anybody ever saw was under Ishmael Salas. When they thought he was the juggernaut. And Kazuto did great stuff under Salas. But generally though, guys don't end up going to a guy and things just become amazing after that. You know what I mean? Like, generally that doesn't happen. Generally, like that means more often than not, the corner switch, the success is short-lived. Usually, yeah, it's short-lived. Usually,
Like I
fucking
don't think.
Jaime.
Go ahead.
Good.
Go ahead.
No,
No,
good.
I was gonna say I don't think like Triple G should have left Abel. You know,
I don't think that was just. I think that what he wanted. I think what he wanted was to be more defensively responsible. So he went to a more cerebral trainer. Jonathan Banks is not a bad trainer at all, but he's not. I wouldn't have sent Triple G over there. Like, nah, he's gonna try to turn you into more of a boxer, and that's not what
not
you're
your
good at.
DNA.
Like, I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. I just believe you should do what you do, but better. I don't there's certain, like you can't turn certain guys you're trying to turn them into a completely different. You don't remember how awkward he looked first couple of fights with Jonathan? Like he just looked awkward. Like, fuck is this?
Yeah, like Wilder.
Fuck you. Oh well, Wilder. I mean, look, Wilder's a lost cause, bro. Like you could dig up Customato and Eddie Futch and roll them both in the carpet, and they wouldn't be able to do nothing for Wilder.
Put their ashes in a blunt and have Angelo Dundee smoke it. Still get his ass fucking destroyed. Bro. Fuck.
Yeah, it is
Like,
kind of it is
he's a
kind of
bad
bullshit.
student.
Go ahead. Okay.
He's a bad student. Like, he's like with him. You heard it from Mark Breland. He's just a bad student. He's not going to listen. He's going to do things on his own terms. He's not going to listen. If you don't listen, well, then it doesn't matter who the trainer is if you're not going to listen.
Haney goes through a lot of trainers and he does a good job. I think he's probably like
I
one of
mean,
those
he's
only people.
consistent. We got to give him that. Well, whether he's boring or not, is he consistent? Yeah, he's consistent. He's consistent. I don't think much of him as a pure boxer. As far as, okay, if I had to rank top shelf, top tier pure boxers, I got Shakur pretty high on that list. Really high. I don't have Devin right behind him. Nah.
Yeah, I'll put Devin right behind him. I think the only thing separating Devin from Shakur is Shakur has God-given reflexes, and you can't really do anything about that. People don't talk about reflexes enough because, like, all the other talents, power, speed are so blinding, but reflexes is really the best.
It is a game. It is. If you have that, it's a game changer. If you have that, yeah. Because sharp reflexes, the counters, bro. Like, yeah, the counters are gonna make a lot of guys scared to fucking sneeze. Devin, I think Gary Antoine Russell mows him down. He mows him down. Yeah.
I liken Shakur to Roy Jones in that sense that as long as he's got the reflexes and the speed like he does, he's going to be great. But once it's gone, he's up the creek just like Roy. Once it's gone, he's done.
Yeah, I could see. We're a few years out from that. The reflexes won't go anywhere, but you know what the thing with him is? It's the wear and tear. This guy's hand gets injured in fights that he's consistently winning, but he's consistently injured. And that'll be if there is a downfall, if he ever loses, it could be because of something like that. Because this guy's consistently got hand problems.
Reminds me of Prince Nassim Hamed, man. He had the same problem, hand issues, man.
I've been thinking about Tio, right? I think he would do well with Sugar Hill. Got like that inside game. I was watching Fury fight in the pocket. I'm like, yo, there's some type of shit Tio need right here, bro.
Yeah, but the problem is his dad will never get out of the way, though. Tio's dad will never get out of the way.
I Sugar Hill's the type of personality.
He's doomed.
I think no, the person. You know what? Because he's amicable, Sugar Hill. You could see that about him. He's a good guy to be around, and I see that about him. But for what Teofimo actually needs, He needs to diversify his offense, and that's why I would send him to Manny or Freddie Roach. He doesn't know how to lead the dance. He was talking about this shit the other day that there are quiet moments. He's a counterpuncher. There's these quiet moments where you can see that he's waiting to see what they're gonna do so he could do something. No, just fucking jab, bro. And you don't gotta shoot it. And you don't gotta try to just work the lead hand, bro. Just keep it out there. Because while that's out there, he's not gonna want to do nothing. Instead, what you do is you wait for something to happen, get punched in the face, respond too late, and the guy's over there. That's the whole Shakur Stevenson fight in a fucking sentence, bro. Wait for something, get punched in the face, try to counter, miss, and then just let's restart. Let's just keep doing this shit for 36 fucking minutes. He needs to diversify his offense. And he's not going to change nothing about his fucking corner.
I don't
His
think it's
dad ain't
just
going
about the
nowhere.
offense. I think just the guard manipulation, like that Fury was using, just lean into the knowing where to be on this side, move it to this side, move the guard. Just that little, the intricate, the
How much of
small
that? How
intricacies
much of that do
inside.
you think is Sugar? How much of that do you think is Sugar, and how much of that do you think is Fury?
I mean, he went to Crunk Gym, right? That's when Fury
You know what?
was.
You're right. You're right.
That's
You're
Crunk
right.
Gym, baby.
You're right.
You gotta
No, you're
get
right.
that in
You're
you.
right. No, it's a good if you notice, a lot of the trainers, a lot of the students out of the Crunk Gym are fairly good trainers. That's Sugar Hill Stewart. That's Andy Lee. That's Jonathan Banks. They're fairly good trainers, though. They're all fairly good trainers. Sugar Hill had a funk, though. He did have a funk where a lot of his boys and girls was getting fucked up. He did for 2 years. Let's say 3 years ago, it was 2.5 years. We're like, if you seen Sugar Hill in a corner, yeah, somebody about to lose.
Yeah, but is he as bad as Ronnie Shields?
Oh fuck, bro! Look, man. You know Ronnie in the corner. You know what's about to happen. I told him he was a jab. He was a jab. I told him
Hey,
he was a jab.
I hate
hey,
Derrick James in the
hey,
corner. I ain't gonna front.
hey, I was gonna say hot take over here, but when it comes to the creme de la creme of the fighters, do you, do you guys feel like you don't really hear about the trainers? Because like when I think about Muhammad Ali, when I think about like certain fighters, like I don't think about like, oh yeah, like that trainer is like, like he's a you know what I mean? Like, like he kind of overshadows the fighter in a way. That makes sense.
Mm. You mean like star trainers, right? That there are fighters that are not overshadowed by their trainer, or do you mean that there are trainers that are overshadow the fighter?
I mean,
Because
I guess what?
I'll say this: Ali is not a good example of anything. 1 in a million fighter. But you look at a Joe Frazier, right? Who trained Joe Country? Jack Blackburn? No, Eddie Futch. Was it
Yeah.
Jack Blackburn? It
Jack
was both?
Blackburn, right?
Yeah. Well, like you could see, you could see, like, look, he's a great fighter, great trainer, great combination. But star trainers, that's more perception. Like, remember when Pacquiao's coming through and he's doing really well, Freddie Roach becomes a star trainer, right? Freddie's got limitations in his training regimen. He's mostly for offensively minded fighters. If you're an offensively minded fighter or wish to become one, he's a right guy for you. When Gennady Golovkin is doing fairly well, when he's still winning, right? Everybody, like Abel Sanchez, oh, the jab, oh, Abel Sanchez, and as soon as he starts losing, oh, well, you ain't fucking shit. Andre Ward's doing great. He's winning. He's doing Super Six. Fucking, he's fucking Brandt, fucking Edwin Rodriguez. He's doing what he does. Everybody's ranting and raving about fucking Virgil Ortiz. Amir Khan gets knocked out. Oh, he's sucking sack shit. You see what I mean? That I don't even believe in star trainers anymore. I don't even believe in it. There are just trainers I know that they're good because I notice that they have a palpable effect on a fighter almost immediately. One of them is Mark Ramsey in Canada. In America, I would say Manny Robles and Buddy McGirt. I've seen fighters, they go over there to those guys, they start doing better. Joel Diaz. Is it Joel? Yes, Joel with the cockeyes. He's a good fucking trainer. He's a good fucking trainer. He wears the glasses because he's got the lazy eye going on. He's got the thing. He is a good fucking trainer. In the UK, Shane McGuigan, easy bet. Shane McGuigan, that's a great trainer. Andy Lee is becoming a guy to like, yeah, guys, you know, fucking Ben Whitaker. You see what he did this weekend? No fuss, no muss. Let's go home, bro. One round. Let's not do Fortnite dances. Let's not fuck around. No fuss, no muss. That's under Andy Lee. Let's not play around out here, bro. We don't get paid by the hour, you know. So
Same as Eddie
you know,
Reynoso.
I mean, Eddie's. I have Jaime Munguia beating Resendiz, so I attribute that victory when it happens to Eddie Reynoso. He's gonna add wrinkles to Jaime's game so that he keeps his hands at home better, protects himself better, uses his jab more. I don't think Eddie is an amazing trainer so much as he has an amazing fighter, and you know, right? I mean, like you see the association. Is he a good trainer? He's all right. He's all right. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. On that note, I got gym in the morning. I will see y'all on the next one.
Have a good night,
Peace.
fellas.
All right, guys.
Night,
Have a good night.